And if I were a marketer thinking about bringing an agency on board for the first time, any advice you'd give me as a marketer?
Do I have learned the hard way along the road. Do your due diligence up front.
Okay.
Um, I always encourage if you're really sold on, you always have to think the people that are trying to sell you their business are not your day-to-day contacts. Ask to meet the team that's going to be on your account.
Okay.
That has been really helpful for me because it's you might fall in love with the person that's pitching you their agency, but then maybe you don't necessarily mesh well with the group that's doing the work for you. So I
Right.
always try to meet a few folks that would be on our business. I think that's really important. And then just making sure that for us, identifying agencies that will represent you well externally. So I know I mentioned influencer
Hmm.
and PR. They are your team to industry, trade, to the actual influencers we're working with. Make sure that they're representing you properly and you're training them up front on your
Right.
brand and they can speak to Chomps, for example, just as well as you can because the worst thing would be for me if an influencer came to me and was like, so and so from this agency said this, and I just don't
Hmm.
agree with that. And it's like
Right.
they're representing me, and I have
Yeah.
to be confident in them. So I think that's a really thing I've learned the hard way through my career that I would definitely give advice on.
Got it. So I mean, obviously, I won't know how the agency is going to represent my brand until they actually start working for me. If I'm looking at agencies, any advice you give to try and get some sort of indication as to how effective that agency is at doing what you just described?
Yeah, check your references. I'm a big
Okay.
reference checker. I love
Okay.
to network, look at work that they've done, depending
Okay.
on what you're hiring the agency for, whether it's a creative project or and then making sure, I've for example, we're actually going through a big project right now where I found I found we're looking at a new website design and I found sites that I really like in the industry and I found out
Hmm.
who made those sites
Oh,
and then
interesting. Okay.
vetted those agency partners
Oh, nice.
and then talked to the brand representative from those companies who managed the project to make sure it was a seamless experience. And that was all part of kind of our due diligence
Nice.
in identifying those partners. So I think just making sure you spend the time doing the work up front, the project will run much smoother.
Yeah. So you identified the agency that did the site and then talked to the brand person from that particular company to get some insight from them.
Exactly.
That's great. I love it.
Exactly.
I love it.